What I need to know is when I come down here to work tomorrow, is there going to be an issue? You told me I was trespassing. There's a trespassing order on me.
I didn't say there was.
Yes, you did. I recorded you. I have it in recording.
Is that they do not want you on this property.
You said, do I have to show you the piece of paper trespassing? Got to the warehouse this morning with Christian and Patience. There's Patience, and there's Christian. And my key is not working in the door. So I gave it to Christian to see if he could solve this problem for me. And Christian is trying to get into the door. And for some odd reason, we are completely and totally locked out of the warehouse that I pay a premium for every month. That's not working for you either?
Nope.
Okay, try the other key. The other key's to the other building, but... All right. Let's go try and see if we can get in the other building. We have one key for this building, and we have one key for this building. She locked me out. One key will go in the door here, one key will go in the door there, but the tumblers are changed. She locked us out.
Time to call the police.
All right, calling the police. Brian, my building facility manager, he's on the phone with the sheriff department right now. So the building owner has changed all the locks, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Number one, why? And number two, this is illegal. You can't do this as a building owner unless you have a court order, and the sheriff have to be there for you to change the locks. So right now, we're gonna have the police out here. We're gonna see if we can get in the building. Just to be clear, I've always paid rent, correct?
Rent's been paid every month on time.
Never ever missed a payment.
Never.
The only time I didn't pay is when Maryland did not pay the utilities. I had no electric, we didn't have any water. And even then, after that was put back on, I still paid the remaining balance, even though I didn't legally have to.
Exactly right.
So you just got off the phone with the local police?
Yes.
Okay.
And they said as long as we haven't been evicted, which we have not.
No eviction.
We have not been to court. We have not been served anything. We have rights to the building no matter which way we need to get in.
I came in this morning, actually at noon, to get into my warehouse building, and the locks were changed. Can you tell me if the building owner actually contracted the locks to be changed? You know, I've been nice to Maryland up to this point, and I haven't pushed loss of income.
Jeremy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, we were out there. At that point, I'm not sure what's going on, but you'll have to talk to, is it Maryland?
Okay,
Or
Wooster,
landlord?
we've already contacted Wooster Police, and she has illegally changed the locks, and there is no eviction notice. So my question is, will you come back and change them? She cannot legally change them without the eviction notice, and there is no eviction notice. And Worcester Police are already on this as well. She has illegally changed the locks. So
Hold
you
on
can
one more
you
second
can
here,
contact
okay?
Worcester Police as well.
Hold on here, all right?
Yes, thank you. If you're a landlord, you cannot do this. This is illegal.
All right, Jeremy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, at this point, we need to hear from the landlord again, see what's going on. We're kind of out of the loop on this.
Okay.
We were under the impression anything was going on.
Can I have the Worcester Police contact you directly?
You can.
The landlord, I mean, isn't going to communicate with me, but I'm going to have the Worcester Police contact you directly.
What's going on? Why can't you guys communicate?
Well, she obviously isn't communicating if I just got locked out of my facility. So what she's
By calling her?
what she's attempting to do, I can't call her. I have a letter from her lawyer that all communication is to be through her lawyer. So she's trying to push her partner out of the business. I am a tenant in the business that pays every single month.
So there's a lot going on.
Yep.
There's a lot of issues that need to be sorted out, and we don't want to involve in the middle of it.
Okay.
At this point. I'm sorry this has happened, but
Yep.
we need to know more what's going on. I want
Okay.
to hear from her. I want to hear from the police.
All right, I'm gonna have Worcester Police contact you, and then I will attempt contacting you back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank
Sounds
you.
good.
Bye bye. Here's the craziest part. Number one, I've paid every single month rent. Number two, as a tenant, I'm caught in between a partnership battle. And one partner has been extremely good. He's been great. The other partner hasn't paid utilities and now has changed the locks. Illegal without an eviction notice. Not only illegal without an eviction notice, illegal during these times in our world. No landlord can kick any tenant out of any place right now due to COVID-19.
Hello?
Marilyn, this is Jeremy Hale's tenant.
Well, hello.
I would like my locks and my keys changed back as I am a paying tenant, and you illegally changed the locks.
Questions, call my attorney.
Marilyn, I've already contacted the police. And I will be taking you for loss of income. You have illegally changed the locks. And I've been more than patient with you as you didn't pay utilities, and now you've changed the locks and you are affecting my business income. I just got a phone call from Brian stating that the Wooster police are now in the warehouse. This is what it is to be in the middle of a legal battle of partners. All right, I got Wooster police here at the warehouse now. So Marilyn must have called when she's the one, she did the illegal things. So I'm gonna go figure out what's going on. We've got somebody else here as well. We got this individual here. There's Marilyn. So there's Marilyn, who you've heard earlier. So this is the person that you've heard earlier.
So what they're just told us is that you don't even have access to the building now.
So you're saying I don't have access to my $1 million worth of merchandise. I'm locked out of...
I don't have legal standing on the property.
So I don't have access to get...
Step back, right? You keep encroaching on me.
So I don't have access
Do
to
me a
any...
favor and just step back.
So I don't have access to any of my merchandise.
I'll answer your question. Step back.
He's further away than I am. You haven't said anything.
Yeah, you didn't say anything to him.
Well,
Why
but
is
your
all
hands
this
aren't
a-
in your pockets, are they?
Okay, my hand is
Thank you
right
very
here.
much. Thank
Here's
you
my
very
hand. My other hand is on my... I will keep my hand out of my pocket.
Okay.
So I don't have any access to any of my
You wanna
merchandise.
get your property out?
There's no way I
You
can
don't
get...
have, listen, you don't have a legal right to this property.
He has a
Okay.
lease with me.
Okay, listen. You don't own the property. That's what I'm saying. You don't own the property. If you don't own the property and you don't have an agreement
Then
with
why
her
has she waited 5 years
rent
to
it
do
out.
something about this?
Okay, listen.
If I
Here's-
don't have
here's
any
my
legal rights,
suggestion.
she just let me be down here.
I would
used to have a
love to. I
sign
would
out.
love to give you
I had a
advice.
sign out here for 5 years.
I would love to give you advice, but you keep talking over me.
So if you listen to this recording where she says,
Listen, I'm not making that decision. A judge can make.
But
that decision.
Brian, we've already talked to our lawyers. They've already said you have a great case, she doesn't.
Get your attorneys involved. That's my suggestion to you.
But he's still got to run his business.
I still have to run my business. Now I can
And I got
sue
another
her.
tenant that has
I can
rights
sue
to
her
that
for
property.
loss of income, which I will.
Absolutely.
So I will sue her for loss of income. I have $1 million worth of merchandise in there. So right now, basically, you're telling me I have no way to access that.
You don't have a legal right to the building.
Okay, so
That's what I'm saying.
so I cannot get in access to anything I have in my
Do you
in the
want to
building.
get in there and access something?
Well, the issue is
Because we
I
could
have
probably talk to her.
6,000 square foot of storage, $1 million worth of merchandise. Where am I going to put that overnight?
I don't know.
Agreed. Me
I don't know
either.
where you're
So
gonna put it.
I don't have that answer
went
either.
to
But it's not.
Maryland's house.
But that's not my problem. Okay.
I went over to Marilyn's house the day he moved in to tell her that because the reason he was going to pay rent and he was going to pay a portion of the utilities.
Listen.
If that was the case 2 years ago, that's 2.5 years ago he moved in. If that was the case that he didn't have a portion to do, why in 2.5 years has she done nothing?
You're asking me a question. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Because I have permission to be down here.
You're asking
How do
me
I
to-
have keys to the property?
You're asking me to speak on something that I don't know the answer
I've
to.
had keys to the
Okay?
property for 12 years.
Okay.
Now you're telling me
That we're still going to have to take to court, Brian.
Yes. That's something your attorney's going to figure out. That's what you pay him for. That's what she's paying this man for. Okay? Let your attorneys figure it out.
but in the meantime, I got 2 tenants that are running businesses.
Like I said, you lease the property that you don't have any rights to.
I'll still have to go into court and lie then. Well, she's saying we're not partners because...
Well, she'll have to prove that in court that they're not legal partners. The issue is I'm stuck in the middle as a tenant. I have $1 million worth of merchandise in there. You're saying I have no access unless she grants me access to get it out. I have no access. So don't go back. Don't try and get in. What are the repercussions if I go back without permission? Then it would be trespassing.
Yes.
Okay. So, for example, I have trailers there as well. I have 3 trailers. If I come,
do you want to work something out to where you can get this stuff? Because
well,
I'm sure she would be willing to do.
I've got to be able to do something, but
I agree with you.
But I'm asking on the outside. I have 3 trailers. Am I allowed on the property to get my trailers?
Yes, correct.
From the law standpoint,
Trespassing.
so I would be. So is there a trespassing order currently?
I'm telling you, you're not allowed on the property.
Did she?
So when we leave here,
Did she file a
come back
trespass
on the-
order?
yeah.
So there is a trespass order already filed.
Do you want me to fill out a no trespass letter for you?
No, I
give
don't
it
think
to
I
her?
need it. I just need to know, did she
saying.
actually file one or not?
31.
Because my lawyer told me to file theft charges on her.
31.
For what?
Are you on West Ridge? You down there at West Ridge?
Negative. I'm on Spruce Street. Theft charges for what?
For locking me out of my merchandise.
Let me
I have
ask
$1
you-
million worth of
Let
merchandise.
me ask you this. If you put something into, let's say that you had a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
I moved some stuff of mine into your garage, shut the door, put a lock on it. Am I trespassing? And I don't have an agreement with you. What am I doing?
You have to be legally evicted.
Legally, you have to be evicted.
You can't just tell people
I'm a
that-
landlord. I've been a landlord for over 20 years.
And that's exactly what this gentleman told you.
I haven't been
He's
legally
gonna be-
evicted.
We have not been evicted.
I know.
Neither one of us.
So I have not been legally
Guys,
evicted.
let me talk. Quit talking over me, okay? I'm more than willing to talk to you, but you keep firing questions while I'm trying to answer your questions. Just because you don't like the answer, I'm sorry, okay? But that's what it is, okay? He is in the process. He's going to be in the process of serving you guys eviction notices.
In the process,
Okay.
you can't process evict me. They have to take me to
Okay,
court for
but-
something totally different because
And-
whether she admits it or not.
But Brian, that's still
she's
partnership.
legally
That's
taking
another
me to
issue.
court.
He already explained that to you,
Exactly.
correct?
Okay, so
But she can't
officer,
evict me.
I have not been issued an eviction. Therefore, I would not be crossing the legal boundaries to go in and get my items out. Correct.
I disagree with that.
So really, that's a court issue, is what you're telling me.
I say it's a trespassing issue if you come on the property that you don't necessarily have a right to be on.
Okay, so the issue is the question of whether I have a right to be on the property,
Right.
not whether I've been served an eviction.
Let me ask you this. Let's break it down. Who owns the property?
Maryland owns the property.
Okay. Who gave you permission to put your property here?
Brian did under B&M Storage, which is Brian and Maryland Storage. They have a joint account where all of my rents go to and where my checks are made out to.
Where is that rental agreement at?
I have a rental agreement within my truck right now.
Who's
Would you
it
like to
signed
see it?
by?
It is signed by me and the business partner, Brian.
Was it signed by the landowner?
The landowner wasn't
property
there
owner.
for that. The landowner had the property manager do that. I've been a landlord for 20 plus years. I've had
Like I said,
other
she's
companies.
She's disputing that part of it.
So I've had other companies sign contracts for me that I pay them to do. I don't have to sign it.
Okay, listen. She is saying she's not in business with this gentleman.
Okay.
I can't help that.
So that's a court issue.
Jeremy,
Exactly. Okay.
in the 2.5
so,
years
listen,
that you've
we're
been
going in
renting down
circles
here,
guys.
you've talked to Marilyn multiple times, right?
One time.
Has she ever told you that I did not have permission or said anything to you about you not having permission to be down here?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So what do you want? What do you want from me right now?
So what I need to know.
We're talking. We're dancing. In
We are
circles,
dancing
so-
in circles, and I understand you're a police officer, you're not a judge or a lawyer.
Correct.
So the issue is, and being a landlord for over 20 years, I think I have some grasp on this. The issue is I have not been served a legal eviction.
That is forthcoming.
Therefore, even if it's forthcoming, therefore, I'm not legally evicted from the property. You're saying the issue is trespassing. Right now, I'm trespassing. I could be arrested for trespassing.
What I'm saying is this gentleman here, according to Maryland, did not have permission to rent anybody any space. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you are,
According to
but
Maryland.
the court has to determine that ultimately. So we're still in this limbo of whether I can actually be in the property or not.
Listen, I told you exactly what our stance is. Okay? You guys are grown men. You make your own decisions in life, but in those decisions you have to deal with the consequences. Okay? It is a civil issue as far as whether or not you have permission to be in this building. Okay? I'm not going to decide that today. Okay?
But you already told me I couldn't be.
He's got to say that as part of his position. He's not a lawyer. He's not a judge.
Right.
He's not a lawyer. He's not a judge.
You can't. Somebody can actually go into your house and just plop and say that's their residence, and you have to go through an eviction process to get rid of
Nobody's
them.
going to plop in my house. Okay? And I'm pretty certain that nobody's going to plop in your guys' houses. Just plop in their houses, right?
You hear about it all the time in the news, and you have to go through an eviction process to get rid of them. I've heard
Okay.
people move into vacant
Listen,
houses all the time and have to get evicted.
I've been doing this for 20-some years, okay? If somebody just plops in the house, 9 times out of 10, that person was invited into the house, okay?
And you just proved the point. I'm in there based on an invite. I didn't just go in there.
Here's our question. Who invited you?
Well, you have the.
She's saying that she did not.
You have a business partnership.
She is,
I had a for rent on this building. That's how he saw it. She
But
saw
he's still not the judge, and he's not a judge, and he's not the
like I
lawyer.
said,
He
it
can't make
all
the
goes back to
decisions.
issue, okay? Where is the business agreement at? You say you have a recording of it.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't do
But
anything.
As
You
I
know
was
what I mean?
told by the sheriff and the police officer that I called the first time, they told me as long as you have a verbal agreement, that's all you need for this kind of arrangement. And then the courts have to decide anything after that. So if I'm saying I have a verbal agreement with her, and she's denied, then it has to be solved in the courts.
Listen, that's between you and her.
All you got to do is look over the records of who's been. If you call up the police department and ask how many times I've called the police on people trespassing on this property, why you think
We've got
Because
second
I
officer here now.
want to take care of this property. Ask her who's mowed this property for the last 12 years.
I'm not-
Me.
But
not
Brian, that's
saying you
still
didn't do any
a
of that.
court issue.
I know that's the court issue.
The real-
So why would I be doing that if I wasn't?
The real issue is
I'm
as a
not saying you
tenant
didn't
whether
do
I have
any of that.
access or not.
I'm not saying you didn't do any of that, okay? But what I'm saying is, she does not want you here. Listen, just let me finish. Just let me finish.
You should have done it a long time ago.
Just let me finish.
Matter of fact, this officer's been down here before. I've talked to him before. I've had people trespassing on this property. You've been down here before.
Please let me finish, okay? At this point, I'm just going to walk away because we're talking in circles, okay? She's saying that you guys are not business partners. Okay? There's no written agreement that you guys are business partners. You saying that you have a voice recording. I don't know if you do or don't, okay? So, the bottom line, she owns this property. Okay? She's saying that you have no right to be here.
Brian, it don't do anything to play it for him because it has to be in court.
No,
It's
I don't have it here.
it's a civil
all I'm
issue.
asking you to do is not come onto the property.
Same as Jeff told you.
They're going to start the eviction process, and that's how it's got to be.
And from my point of view, and it could be wrong, so from my point of view, until the eviction process is complete and I'm evicted, I still have access to my property that is housed there.
I think we're dancing in a gray area. I already told you this. Okay?
So the consequences, if I continue to come down,
He rented the property next door, correct?
yes, I rent for $400 a month. I've been in there for over 2 years.
Is that your black Ram?
Yes, that's my Ram.
So he rented this is Brian. What's your name, sir?
I'm Jeremy.
Okay. So Jeremy rented that property over there from Brian for $400 a month. The lady that owns the property said there's never ever a business agreement. So essentially he's renting the property out without the...
Which we've already consulted with a lawyer. We've been waiting for it to go to court.
So,
Then you have an agreement with her for this property line?
For the whole property.
but there's no written agreement, correct?
Well, as I was told by the police and the sheriff, a verbal agreement is all I need. I do have a conversation recorded with her, though, where she's asked me for money to pay for taxes and insurance. If I'm not her partner, why would she be asking me for money to pay taxes and insurance?
He's got all kinds of recordings. We've already sought legal help as well. Our lawyers have already determined that they want the case because it's so strong on Brian's part. But we weren't pursuing anything until it actually goes to court.
I suggested you guys talk
But
Your
that's
attorney,
still,
that's why you can't.
and I have. What my attorney told me to do is sue her right now, or actually make a report of theft because she locked me out. So my attorney has told me to make a report with Wooster Police on theft because she locked me out. I have $1 million worth of merchandise in there. I should have complete and total access. I've been a landlord for over 20 years. I should have access to all of my merchandise. I'm stuck in the middle of a partnership battle.
And then she just goes and changes the locks.
So what have your lawyers done then to proceed this? If this
We've waited for them to actually take it to court. They've already have everything. We've just been waiting
They sent us letters saying they were taking us to court, so we were just waiting for them to take us to court.
to settle it. Taggart firm.
Do you have a business card on you that they give to the?
We have their information. I have his letters in my truck.
Okay. Never responded to. Like you said, I would pass that information on to your attorney and two attorneys to talk about.
So as Maryland's attorney, do I have access when I don't have an actual eviction notice?
I'm not speaking on YouTube for you.
Well, you're already on YouTube, sir.
I will be on YouTube. I've been on screen.
Would you like to share your law firm and your name?
You can do whatever you want to with it.
So
So the question is that he has.
do I have access? There's no eviction notice.
Access his building, continue running his business. I just want to see paperwork that shows that.
I have a lease in the truck. Can I show you the lease?
But see, it's signed by Brian and not Marilyn. Marilyn owns the property. She's saying there's no agreement between she and Brian as far as business partnership.
That's for the courts to determine. My issue is completely separate. I do not have an eviction notice.
No, I have not seen it.
Let's please see that. I just want to see what it's.
Can I show you my lease?
I'd like to see it.
All right, I'm going to keep recording. So this is Maryland here. So they're asking for my lease. So I do have it. We got the police. I'm gonna hand you a copy of my lease. This is
Why would she call them? I've taken care of all that.
This
You know,
is-
'cause you've been down here at least once that I know, maybe more than that.
This is the last certified letter from her lawyer, which we've been waiting for them to pursue in court for them to determine what the issues are with the legal partnership. Again, my issue is completely separate. I am a tenant, and I have not been issued anything in regards to an eviction. There is no legal eviction whatsoever. There is nothing in the courts, and we're in COVID-19. She legally can't evict a tenant as it is anyway for any reason whatsoever.
I understand whether that shows you.
Yeah.
It says.
Yeah.
So that's what he issued. Never responded to it.
Nor do I legally have to respond to it. It's your call to take it to court.
says if we
It's
don't
your
respond-
call to take it to court. We're waiting for court. You didn't go to court. And I'm in the middle of it as a tenant. I have $1 million worth of merchandise in there. All right, so we got Wooster Police, Maryland, building owner, Maryland's lawyer. We've got Brian, business partner. Police are now talking to Maryland's lawyer. Sure, they're trying to figure something out for me being stuck in the middle. What Maryland did is absolutely illegal, but local police can't handle those types of things. That has to be handled in court. They are attempting to mediate, which I appreciate.
All right. So the idea here.
Yes, sir.
Is that your attorneys are going to communicate and give you the right to go in there and get all your property out. So this will be done the civil way.
Okay.
All right?
That's what the agreement is. Just have your attorney talk with him, and this will all be mediated. So there's no reason to have law enforcement involved. As we already discussed, this is a civil issue. There's
Correct.
no criminality whatsoever on this basis.
But the objective is he doesn't have to go anywhere. He's got a lease.
I don't have to go anywhere.
He should be
I have a
able to run
lease
his
and I don't
business.
have
So she
and I
resolves
don't
the
have a
matter with
legal
me.
eviction.
We're just talking about being civilly about
Sure.
being human beings,
Right.
as far
Well,
as taking care of the property.
But as far as being human beings, I've maintained this property for Maryland for 12 years. Now she just thinks,
I am very aware of that.
see you,
I've
bye-bye.
talked with you.
That's
I
got to be.
understand
It's
that.
got to be.
But
It's
again,
got to be in
that
court.
is the issue.
That's
Exactly.
a civil
But
issue
she's-
for
but
court.
the fact that she's just saying, and you guys just say, well,
Yeah.
she said that you guys aren't partners, so you're not.
But that's all
gotta be
court.
resolved in court. Now, you guys can't tell me that I don't, and I don't have access to the
And
property
an eviction
when I
has to be
have.
resolved in court.
I have just as much right to this property now as I had for the last 8 years. Because, well, he told me I
Actually,
had no permission
he
to come on
was
the property.
disputing all of
He
it and
me
told me
could
I
not
was
come on the property.
trespassing.
After I'd be arrested.
This is,
I'm getting all this back.
yeah, I understand that you've been down here. I get that, okay? But she's saying that you guys do not have a partnership. That's what I'm saying.
But to resolve that, she has to go through the courts. You just can't come down here and tell me I have no right to the property anymore.
What I said was that she is evicting you, okay? And you're dancing in a gray area if you break into the building, is what I'm saying. I understand you've been down here, okay? But that a trespass charge would be up to the interpretation of the courts on how they want to view it and how they want to view you guys' partnership. That's what
Exactly.
I'm saying.
That's why I told her it's got to be resolved in the courts. That's why we were waiting.
That's why we're waiting for them to file in
Because
court.
That's the only way it can be resolved. She wants to say I'm not a partner. I say we are. Which I'm going to need to get her daughter's information because I don't have that anymore. Her daughter's the one that bartered the whole agreement between the two of us. Because she didn't trust her mom because her mom was old. So
My understanding, they don't want to have any communication amongst either of you. They just want strictly the
go
lawyers
through
to
the
know about it. And
That's what we've been waiting for court.
We get a letter from Maryland.
And then
telling us
Maryland
not to have
shows
any
up.
contact with her, and she keeps sending text messages to my other tenant, and I'm like, she sends us a letter. We're not supposed to communicate with her. Why she keeps sending messages to the tenants that she doesn't want to communicate with? And if it's going to be resolved to the courts, they sent us a letter. What, a year and a half ago?
well, and everything's going to be postponed as well with this coronavirus. So.
Exactly. In the
How
meantime,
far-
I have a tenants.
But at least the judge is at least going to rule as far as what the legality is and what you guys can and cannot do until that is
Right.
it starts. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm not trying to be a jerk.
Process.
Like, we're just
Listen,
taking you took
nobody's-
care of somebody's property for all these years, and all of a sudden they just want to kick you to the
We
side.
both understand your frustration. That's why we're still
And you
standing
know,
here
because
trying
you've
to
been
figure it
down
out.
here.
I do.
You've never seen Maryland.
I have not.
No one,
You're right.
I guarantee you, none of the police that have been called down here have ever seen Maryland. They've always dealt with me. And whenever anything's happened down here, Maryland's called me to take care of everything.
And this is just the hard reality of partnerships that just go wrong. You
And
know,
she
that's the
talks about
problem
no
with the
response.
rates.
I've got many text messages that I've sent her where I send me utility bills and I make sure to get them paid. She doesn't even respond to me.
The way it looks is she's sending everything through the attorney.
Well, that's fine.
So officers, can we agree that I actually do have access to the building because a legal eviction notice has not been served?
You need to speak with the lawyers so they can communicate with you about getting your property.
Okay, so
Our lawyer,
our lawyer has already told me that
his
to
lease is
file
good.
theft charges on her for locking me out of my property and that I have legal access to the
There
property.
won't be any theft charges. You can't charge thefts against a property owner in an alleged agreement.
Okay.
That's not a criminal tool at all. So have your attorneys speak with each other, figure out a date or what the resolve is going to be
So-
to get your belongings out of there and go from there.
What I need to know is when I come down here to work tomorrow, is there going to be an issue? You told me I was trespassing. There's a trespassing order on me.
I didn't say there was.
Yes, you did. I recorded you. I have it in
I'm saying
recording.
is that they-
Trailers. Am I allowed on the property to get my trailers?
Yes, correct.
From the law standpoint,
Trespassing.
so I would be, so is there a trespassing order currently?
I'm telling you, you're not allowed on the property.
Did
So when
she
we leave here,
file a
you come back
trespass
on the-
order? So there is a trespass order already filed.
do you want me to fill out a no trespass letter for you?
No,
And
I
give
don't
it
think
to
I
her?
need it. I just need to know, did she
saying.
actually file one or not
31.
for trespassing? You said I was trespassing. Please don't back
I
up.
said there's a technical.
My goodness. I would not be trespassing if I came down and I do not have an eviction order. I can come and work and have my attorney talk to her attorney, correct?
Listen, at that point, it's going to be up to the prosecutor for what's going to happen anyways.
So if she calls you guys and you guys come back down, I can stay here. I don't have an eviction notice. I can work on my things and have my attorney work with her
just
attorney.
have your attorneys talk with each other. That's all we're
Sure.
asking.
Yeah, that's all.
It's
That's
very
all.
easy.
They would have if they actually took it to court. They never did. She illegally changed the locks.
Yeah,
That's why you have
give your attorney
That's
information, and then
I've taken care of this property for all these years, and I was told I'd be compensated. I've never been paid a penny.
like I said,
that's still a court issue.
I know it's court,
And
which
that's
means
what
it's
you're
going to have
to
to
the
go to
court,
court.
because you're going to come up with a figure on what your hourly rate is and so forth and so on, and then she's going to have to owe you. Or that's up to the
Exactly.
court.
That's a court thing. Eviction is a court thing. There's no eviction. I should be able to come down here, no problem whatsoever.
Right. I'm just saying.
You just agreed with me. You
Huh?
agree with me.
Listen,
There is no
if
legal
your
eviction.
property is in there.
There's
Hey,
$1
I
million
haven't seen any
worth of
paper,
property.
Okay. I don't
Correct.
know what's in there. All I know is I've seen your truck there. I've seen you ride down here. I know you guys have been down.
Sure.
Okay, that's all I know. All right. All I know is whenever we continually get called down here, and that's documented, it's not going to look good for either side whenever you guys are going to court, and it's just an argument back and forth on who's paying for what, and so forth and so on. Again, it's not law enforcement's hands.
Agreed.
It's nothing to do with us.
But it is in law enforcement's hand. All of those issues are civil, except for the issue of eviction. That has to be taken care of court as well. If I come down here, I'm not legally trespassing. I can go into the building because there's not been an eviction served.
Correct.
Thank you.
We need trespassing.
Thank you. I am not
But
trespassing.
it can still be labeled as trespassing if you're coming here and you're not wanted by the property.
See, here's the
That's
issue that we have.
Property owner would have to actually get an eviction notice.
The property owner is saying that she never gave Brian permission
These are messages that I'm
to
supposed to send her.
lease anything. That's
And
what she's telling us.
She has to prove that in court.
As you say.
So you're getting your ducks out of a
I
row.
wouldn't
That has to be
necessarily-
improved in
I
court.
wouldn't necessarily say I'm getting my ducks out of it.
She has to prove there's no agreement in court before I can be evicted.
So if I-
See, that was his agreement. He was supposed to be paid, but she never got me the utility bill. How's he supposed to pay the utility bills if she don't give them to me so he can pay it?
And I think that's where
That's
That's why
court.
you sit there and whine about not getting them. That's what I've heard.
Listen, this officer said it multiple times. There is so much gray area right now that has nothing to do with us. We don't know so much about civil aspects of this. Whenever you had an agreement, whether it was written or not, I know you've been here for several years, and now you're bringing in Jeremy on the other side. Listen, I don't know what to say about that. I'll be honest.
Just give me a yes or a no. As the tenant, can I come down here
It's that gray
tomorrow?
area.
I'm not giving you that.
COVID-19, no landlord can evict anybody for anything right now. The courts are shut down. I do not have an eviction notice.
So we're done here then? I mean, do you have any other
And so you won't give me an actual answer. So in other words, yes,
You
I can
talk
come
with your
down.
lawyer, and the judge will explain that to you.
That's what
guys.
you're paying that man
Okay,
for.
that's what exactly. You're paying a lawyer to help you with this process. Talk with them, and they can give you the guidance that you'll need. Okay.
Well, we've already talked to our lawyer last year when we first got our first letter from him, and he said my lease is good with Jeremy and my partnership is good.
And we got to prove it in court.
Exactly. Because you're going to have, just like on this side, we're getting
We understand
two
you're the
sides of the
police.
stories. That's all we're
Exactly.
doing. So you're going to have an attorney that's going to be on your side, you're an attorney on that side, and ultimately the judge is going to be the one that's.
But that's why I got a little bit
So-
upset though. Was only because he was telling us we couldn't do something because he's not the judge.
It's
He's
a
only the
gray area.
police.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is on us, and
Yeah,
we
that's
can't
what
make
it's
we can't give you a hard answer, yes or no.
Right.
And I think that's where you guys are getting hung up on, is you want a hard answer, and I get that, but we can't give that to
Well,
you.
your hard answer originally was you can't be on the property. Or
If it were me, I wouldn't do it. If it were me, I wouldn't do it.
That's because you don't have $1 million worth of merchandise
Because
locked
it's
up in a
to the
building.
interpretation of the judge. Okay, she's saying you guys have no business agreement. Okay, you're saying you do, but neither of you can prove that.
I can't
Okay.
prove it. If you want to come out to my house, I can play the recording.
I am
for
not.
you. You
I'm
can
not
hear it.
going to your house. I
It's
told
not
you
a-
you can
it's not
email,
a- it's not
you
a
can email
judge.
it to me. You know what I mean?
Well, do I have an email for you?
I can give you an email. You never asked me for it.
Yeah. Give me
Okay.
a business. Give me a card with your email on it, and I'll email it.
But she's saying you guys have no rights to the property, which without anything, you know.
How many years ago would you say it's been since you've seen me?
That was about 3 years ago when we got a
Exactly.
conviction on that.
Yeah, and in all those 3 years, have you ever gotten a call from the police from Maryland stating that I'm on her property illegally?
Me personally, on my shift,
Or
I
heard of it?
don't know.
Exactly. So you've been
I
on
would
it
have
for
to
3 years,
research that.
and there's no record of Brian and the customer illegally being on her property illegally. But I'm the one calling all the police multiple
But
times that people are on her property.
This is
Nobody's
how things
disputing
happen
that.
right now.
That's got to go to court. The only thing that doesn't have to go to court is me stuck in the middle as the tenant.
You are stuck right in the middle.
I do not have an eviction notice. I can be on the property. Been a landlord. I've been dealing with this for over 20 years in the court system.
You guys would be involved. We figured eventually we'd get a letter saying we had to go to court. That's what we were waiting
We've
for.
prepped for it.
Well, he comes down this morning that the place is locked up. Well, after you get the messages saying they're going to take you to court, but shouldn't you go to court before you just change the lock?
Well,
You just can't
Yes,
change the
legally
lock.
she has to get an eviction to change the locks.
correct, but again, it's also the way
That's
you
that
can
gray
prove
area
as
where
far
there's no
as-
agreement.
Yeah.
But
There's
they've
no
got a
written-
record that they're saying they're going to take us to court. Why would they change the locks before they take us to court?
Listen, we're stuck in the middle,
Exactly.
and without something in writing, what do we go by?
Well, even if you heard that argument with her that I talked to her about, that's still, you guys are still the police. You still can't withhold that or say it's not good or not.
Let me ask you this.
The court still have to decide that.
If Sergeant Kolick and I shared an apartment together and we bought a TV, okay, and we're like, hey, we're not friends anymore, I'm taking that TV's mine.
It's got to go to court.
And he says, no, it's not. And we call, and now you're the cops, and we call you. Whose TV is it? We don't have the receipt, sir. I paid it with my credit card.
Go to
He's saying
court. Go to court.
that's what we're telling you. Okay.
That's what we're waiting for.
Okay.
They
That's
sent us two
what
letters,
we're
a year
telling
and a
you.
half.
Take it to court.
The only issue that doesn't have to be taken to court is I legally have access to that building and all of my
I'm
merchandise.
not saying you legally have access to
I'm saying I legally have access.
it. Different opinion.
That's why you guys pay attorneys to give you that
That's
guidance.
right.
Already doing it. And I want to know when I come to work tomorrow to work on my things that when you guys are called, if Marilyn calls, is there going to be an issue?
Well, both of us are on duty tomorrow. We'll come down and talk about it.
We'll sort it out.
Okay.
Again. I wish you luck.
Thank you.
Civil issue.
Thank you.
I don't shake hands.
I
care.
understand it. Fist pump.
So things go down tomorrow. Call us.
And you say,
Start where we're at again tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
all right. Good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
I did just receive a call from the officer on the scene. He contacted the Wayne County prosecutor. The prosecutor has shared that, yes, I have every legal right to be in the building. So tomorrow, business as usual. But who the Hales knows what's going to happen tomorrow?